Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be giving you 10 activities you can do for your child if they're in the containment schema, or just activities you can do anyway. But this is specifically for the containment schema, so you'll know if your child is in it if they are really interested in putting like a coin into a coin box, or putting themselves into a cardboard box. Basically any activity that involves putting something into something else means your child is probably in the containment schema. And these 10 activities are basically just really giving them the opportunity to do that a lot. So my son seems to always be in the containment schema. He's always putting things into other things, putting balls into tubs, things like that. So I've got quite a lot of activities that I have for him. These are my top 10 that I'm going to share with you today. And even if your child is not necessarily in this containment schema, you should still have some of these activities out in case they do come into it and they start getting interested in it. So just for them to have the option. I do want to say before I get started that if you have been affected by the coronavirus, as I'm sure most people in the world have, then I just really hope you're staying safe and that you're able to stay calm as well. I don't want to say too much about it because there's so much going on about it, but I really hope this video is helpful for you, especially if you're self-isolated away from everyone else. I hope these kind of activities will be helpful to give you a little bit more sanity if you're stuck at home. So this is part of my Montessori at home series, so I'm going to link a bunch of other videos down below. They've got lots of different activities in it, so after this you can go and check that out and find loads of different activities that you can do while at home. The first activity is to get lollipop sticks and a spice jar. So the lollipop sticks that I had were too big, so I snapped them in half, and then literally Samuel just puts them into the spice jar. And the spice jar has like a little top, as you can see, which has little holes in it. You can get obviously lots of different kinds, and depending on the size of the holes depends on the level of difficulty of this activity. But that's the first activity, and that's kind of like a medium level difficulty. Samuel at 19 months is really getting into this level of activity. The second one is to go along with if your child is really interested in putting themselves into small spaces. So what we do is we build dens. So literally all we do, very simply, put some chairs around, stick your whatever covering you want on top of it, and you've got a den. And Samuel at the moment loves this activity, so I highly recommend this. And then you can go inside and have a little tea party. The next thing you can do is you can make a post box. All you have to do is get any kind of box at all, cut a slit in the top depending on how hard or easy you want it to be for your child, and then you get a bunch of playing cards which you can get for about £1 anywhere, and you basically spend time putting the cards into the box. This is quite a simple activity, so if your child's about 1, this is the perfect activity because they can start putting them into the box, and it's kind of like a medium, kind of low medium level activity, so it's not too difficult. Next is an activity you can do, and all you need for this one is any kind of sweet wrapper. So I just use the little plasticky ones that you get. I just scrunch it up into a ball and then I put it in his top, and basically he spends ages trying to find it and get it out. Obviously don't use it on any nice clothes that you want to keep nice, but you stick it down his top and it's like gone somewhere, and then he finds it. Very, very simple, very easy, but this keeps my son entertained for ages. The next activity, all you need is one of these O balls, or you can use a whisk, and then you get a bunch of Pom Poms, you put them inside, and your child can spend ages pulling them out. And that's again another kind of containment style activity because your child is pulling something out. And then once you've done that, if they're able, you can spend time pushing them back in. A very simple shape sorter is a great way to do more containment style ideas. Samuel has got a very basic one which has only got 4 little slots, and it's very, very easy to use. So I would highly recommend getting a very simple one for your child, especially if they're 1 to 1.5 years of age. Samuel's 90 months and he's just kind of perfected the very basic shape sorter. The next activity is you just get an old purse or an old wallet, and you put any kind of business cards or playing cards again into it, and this helps your child to learn how to open fastenings, whether it's a popper or a zipper, and then they take out the cards as well. Very, very simple, very easy, but very entertaining. You can also get tubs, so like little baby puree tubs. That's what I had, and I'm sure you might have from when your child was much younger. And all I do is I put some small part, whether it's a puree pouch lid or a little animal, I put it inside the box, and then they spend time taking the lid off and getting it out. And then when they get a bit older, they start putting it back in and putting the lid back on top as well. Another activity that you can do with your child is playing this very basic game where you just put an object under one of your cups. So I use just stacking cups that I already had around, but you can use any kind of cup. put an object underneath it, move them around a bit, and your child has to find where the object is. Samuel loves this and he thinks it's hilarious trying to find where the object is, because he's at the stage where he can't really see where you've put it. So he really loves this, and I highly recommend this activity. And the final activity for your child is a very, very basic one. All you do is get a cardboard box, and if your child is quite small still, you want to cut a door in it. If not, they can just get in and out of the box, and that's literally the entire activity. I'm sure you know that your child is obsessed. Usually children are obsessed with cardboard boxes. So Samuel's really into it. He gets in and he gets out, he puts things in, puts things out, puts himself in, puts himself in, puts himself out. Very, very basic, very cheap, and very, very entertaining. So I really hope all these activities were helpful for you. They're very, very basic, and pretty much all of them you can use things around the house to do them. So if you did enjoy this video, then just hit the subscribe button down below. Like I said, I'm going to link some videos here that you might be interested in if you like this video, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye.